Kia ora. Welcome to this episode of the Amateur Austenite. I'm Frances Duncan, author, Austenite life coach. With me today is Rachel Pua, book buyer, Austenite, and all-round nerd.
Hello.
Today we're discussing chapter 25 of Emma. Frank goes to get a haircut, and Emma's like, I mean, everyone will have their little follies, right? The Coles invite Emma to dinner, and it's so funny because she's been waiting for this invitation, and now the fact that she's had to wait and everybody's already gotten theirs and they've already decided to go means that she's gonna go too. If they'd sent it at the same time, she'd be like, no, I'm far superior. But now she's like, well, my friends are going, so I want to go.
FOMO. I can't begrudge Frank going to London for a haircut, because for the past 10 years up until this week, I've gone to Masterton for a haircut. I'm 27, and I've literally spent a decade going an hour and a half train ride. Not just for the haircut, to see my parents as well. But it is part of the reason I go back, is to see my hairdresser.
If you were going literally just to get your hair cut, so 3-hour round train trip, would you do that?
Yes, because it is still cheaper, because my hairdresser in Marston charges me $40 for a haircut. The one I got this week was $120. Wow. I'm saving an insane amount of money. Using my snapper on the train is like $14.40. I'm still only spending less than $80 if I take a round trip to Marston for my haircut than it would be for me to just go down the street and get a haircut. Haircuts are crazy expensive, and I don't know how expensive they were in these days. Hopefully not very, but Frank did the right thing by going to London to get his haircut.
Wouldn't London be more expensive than Highbury?
Well, you'd think so, but...
if you want to make sure it looks good.
Did they have, like, barber shops and things? Like, who would normally do the hairdressing? If you were a wealthy woman, like, who does Emma's hair? Who cuts her hair?
Men would have valets and the women would have ladies' maids. They would often do the hair, but there were also hairdressers who went around and did people's hair. Jane Austen got her hair done when she was staying with relatives. The hairdresser didn't charge her as much as them because obviously he knew she was the poorer relation. But when they say dressing the hair, it's not actually clear whether that means that the person was putting their hair up or just cutting it, or both. As they have basically personal groomers on tap, you could probably get away with your maid or valet cutting it.
Then assuming that the poorest people in society either don't cut their hair or are probably cutting it themselves then.
It is a luxury, but we know this isn't actually why he's gone to London. He's visited Jane and realised she doesn't have a piano and he has to rectify the situation. So he travels 16 miles to London and 16 miles back so he can order a pianoforte for her. He comes up with this ruse of getting his hair cut so people don't know.
It might be one of the most romantic gestures in the book, but the logistics, not a great idea. She's staying with the Bates, who we have discussed have the tiniest little house. A one-room lounge, like living kitchen thing, and one bedroom, is it? Something along those lines?
It seems that way. They've got it's a drawing room apartment, so they'll have a drawing room and then there's a bedroom that attaches and then they've got kitchens downstairs. So they've basically got one room that they live in. So it would take up a lot of the space.
Now let's put a pianoforte in there.
Well, he makes sure that it's an upright, so it takes up less room. He had some thought about it there. Mr. Knightley brings up it's an inconvenience to send someone a present when they don't know it's arriving. They haven't prepared for it. Exactly like Mr. Churchill showing up and being like, I'm the present. Yeah. No, that's inconvenient.
I'm assuming that whoever is delivering it to them will also be the person taking it up the stairs into their apartment. Because I know if someone showed up to my place with a piano, no, there's no space downstairs for a pianoforte. Well, there's room in my bedroom. I'm not carrying up the stairs.
And it's being delivered to 3 ladies. So, yeah, someone's
one of whom is an incredibly old woman.
At least being the Bates, we know that the people around would show up and help them out. But he's also willing to have people think he's a fop because he's just going to get his hair cut.
That's true. He's willing to face potential degradation by people. Frank is in this insane position where this is his first time visiting Highbury. but everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
People have been talking about him and his proposed arrival and just what he's been doing because his dad tells everybody what Frank's up to. He has some sort of privacy, but it's almost like he's a celebrity. Going off to get a haircut, he knows, he has to know. Everybody is going to talk about it. Some people will ridicule him. Some people will be like, oh, all right, I guess, that's just what he does. Like, some people might respect him for being like, well, he's loyal to his hairdresser. He has to know that pretty much everybody, unless they really don't care about him, but I mean, again, they don't have television to gossip over. Everybody in Highbury is going to be talking about this one action of him going to get a haircut in London. That would be so awful. Good Lord. I would genuinely hate to be in Frank's position. And the only person we know who's not going to be talking about it is Jane Fairfax, because she can't give anything away.
Oh, he went to London, did he? That's very interesting. Where did this piano come from? Oh, I wonder. Frank, what did you do? It's too suspicious. Mrs. Weston's not fond of this behaviour. She wants to pass over it pretty quickly and just says all the young people have their whims.
I think she just doesn't want to say anything bad about Frank. I guess, he's just, we love him. He's a quirky guy.
Emma, on Mr. Weston's telling her how much Frank admires her, finds that she also must not judge him too harshly. Cool, because he gave some compliments about you. It changes her opinion.
I think Emma's vain enough that if she hadn't spent her whole life in Highbury and had gone to London, she would go to London for stupid shit as well.
Yeah, potentially.
She could afford to. If she just wanted to go shopping actually I think shopping's probably more of a better idea than just getting a haircut, but I think she's the kind of person who probably would do it. Come back and then have an argument with Mr. Knightley. She'd do it just so she could come back and get an argument with Mr. Knightley so they can flirt some more. That's so Emma.
Mr. Knightley is one of those people that's not impressed. He doesn't say it out loud. Just when he's reading his newspaper, he's like, just trifling, silly fellow. And Emma's like, what now? But she's like, no, he meant it privately. So I'm not going to call him on that.
I can just picture him just coming over to see the Woodhouses. He just comes into the room, says, hello, sits down, starts reading his paper, doesn't talk to them. mutters under his breath. He's just like, don't talk to me. If he's reading the newspaper and he says that, is he just thinking about it while he's reading the newspaper? Or is it in the newspaper? How exciting of a news is that?
Emma thinks that everyone is thinking of her and Frank as a couple. He's been marked out for her by all their joint acquaintance. This could speak to why Mr. Knightley's not happy, because he still hasn't worked out what's going on in his head and heart. She's like, but apart from this, it's cool. It seems like maybe he's already in love with me, or quite near to being in love with me. But I'm indifferent to him, so it's fine. It's not going to cause any kind of problems.
Everything happens quicker then, it's true. Love relationships, things like that. Everyone had a bit of a sped up timeline in order to get things done. We know she doesn't want to get married, but the Westons are definitely kind of pushing it. And her mother figure is obviously, very unobviously hinting that she wants them to be together. Maybe people in her acquaintance really are, apart from Mr. Knightley. And actually, I don't think Mr. Woodhouse would really pay much attention at all. He has no clue what's going on at all. I think probably a lot of other people are kind of if Emma's going to get married, she's going to marry someone who's of a similar status to her. And it's now this young guy's come along. They make the most sense. Of all the people currently in Highbury and currently around Emma, Frank makes the most sense. Because, Mr. Knightley and her could obviously be together. But again, he's been such a long-standing old friend of the family that you'd think, if they were going to get married, they would have done it by now.
Oh, no, she's only 21, though.
She's only 21, but
the age gap.
The age gap. Everyone's like, here's a guy. And Emma has been seen walking with him. How often does she get seen walking around Highbury with Mr. Knightley? I don't remember any mentioning of the two of them going for a walk or anything like that. She's seen with Harriet, she's seen with Mrs. Weston, and then she's seen with Frank and Mrs. Weston. If you saw two people walking arm in arm down the street or conversing while walking down the street in a time when that didn't really happen, unless there was something more going on, I'd probably assume that they were together or going to be, that they were courting at least.
Everyone, presumably. We don't know what people are thinking, actually. We only get what Emma thinks people are thinking. It'd be interesting if we hear something from Miss Bates hinting.
Miss Bates' character is kind of the voice of the people in the village. She is the gossip. She hears everything. She talks to everyone. She is kind of taking on the role of the entire ensemble of background characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is the chorus.
Yeah.
Speaking of background ensemble characters, the Coles. They were of low origin, in trade, and only moderately genteel. But they're getting more and more money and are living of a style only second to Hartfield. They're respectable, but Emma thinks that they should be taught that it was not for them to arrange the terms on which the superior families would visit them. But she is very aware that she is the only one who will teach them this. Because Mr. Knightley and Mr. Weston, the only real gentlemen around, are too nice.
Too nice. Too realistic. They know that it's, they're new money, but that doesn't,
And again, small society, you kind of can't pick and choose.
It's
She wants to have the power of refusing them so she can set them in their place. However, she hasn't even got her invitation. Now she's pissed because she thinks she's being left out. And Frank's like, but I want you to come. What if we end up dancing? Which he obviously is hoping for.
Yeah. If the Coles snubbed Emma, can you imagine how,
But is it
angry?
a snub when she thinks she's so high above them?
That's true.
Is it reaching to invite her? Either way are doing the wrong thing, whether they invite her or they don't.
Yeah. Because inviting her is like, how dare they think that they're good enough to invite me to a party? But not inviting her is like, how dare they slight me and not invite me to this party? It just makes me think, just completely unrelated though, that couple who just, as a joke, sent an invitation to their wedding to Queen Elizabeth II, and she showed up.
I did not know about this.
Yeah. It was just a random couple in the UK, and they were getting married, and they thought, oh, you know what, we're inviting all these people for a laugh, let's send one to the Queen. I don't even think she RSVP'd though, to be honest. She showed up to their wedding.
Wow.
And was like, thank you for the invitation. And I'm like, if the freaking Queen of England can come to a wedding, Emma, you can go to this goddamn party. And like a lot of people give Queen Elizabeth shit, but I'm like, you know what? Respect. Mad respect for her.
Also, she worked non-stop. She was phenomenal.
Yeah. Up until her dying day.
Yeah.
Like, up until she got sick.
I was sad when she died. I know a lot of people were down with the monarchy and all of that. And now I'm a little bit on that side because...
Charles. Yep.
I'm not too impressed with the people that are left around. But she really did a great job and she really cared about people. And like
she was like one of the first female monarchs to actively take part in the war effort. Like she literally did military service, which is part of the family thing, but normally it hadn't been a thing for the women to do it.
Yeah.
Just the men. And she was like, no, I'm going to do my part, even if it's a small thing and I'm not seeing active battle or anything. She still wanted to participate. And she was like great morale for a lot of people.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
The Westons advise Emma that she, as queen, should attend the Coles party. And she's like, that's kind of what I wanted you to say because I wanted to go.
Just takes some convincing that she's not.
Then
I love it.
Mr Woodhouse needs to be convinced that it's okay that she goes out.
The hardest part of the whole thing, convincing Dad to let me go to a party.
Because not only that, she's going out to dinner. It's at night and I haven't had time to prepare. And she's going to be gone for the whole evening. And he turns to Mrs Weston and is like, if you had not married, you would have stayed at home with me.
You need another friend. You need another companion, sir.
Eventually, he agrees that Mrs Goddard can come and stay with him. And Emma's like, I don't want you waiting up. I want you to go to bed at your normal time. And he's like, but, your maid has to stay up and James has to take you and you have to make sure that you don't get cold and don't stay too late. She's like, if I go early, the whole party's going to break up and it might be quite rude. He's like, oh no, you can't be rude. The Coles are worthy people. And see, he doesn't seem to care about rank the same.
No, he says they're worthy people. You'd think he would be the stuffier of the two of them in terms of rank and things, especially with how pedantic he is about everything else.
But he's not.
He's not. He doesn't care that she's going to the Coles. He's not like, you're going to a dangerous place. He knows she'll be amongst people she knows. He's just worried about her safety and when she gets home. My mother texts me that stuff all the time. What are you doing? I'm going out to this place. Oh, well, be careful. Let me know when you get home. It's a caring instinct. And he is being very caring about that and her safety. But he doesn't care that it's the Coles. He's not like, I think, if she wasn't going to some stranger's place, then I'd be pretty worried about that. But obviously they're not strangers to him. He knows who they are. He knows that she'll be fine there. He knows that they're appropriate people she can hang out with, like she can be seen with.
But earlier in the novel, Austen says something along the lines of, Mr Woodhouse can't understand people having different wants and needs from him. He thinks Emma's not going to want to go out. Like, he even says it, I don't like dinners, and neither does Emma. You should probably stay longer than you might wish to so you don't cause offence. Assuming that she feels the same things as him. You don't want to go out. You don't want to stay late. She's like, I get to go out for a dinner party and there might be dancing. Great. He's like, but you want to be at home, obviously.
But you can't be rude. Not being rude is more important than you staying home with me because I'm not going and I don't want to go. And you don't want to go, but you're going to go because you're doing a good job. You're going to go and be polite. And I think that's how he sees it.
He's very funny, but he's also such a small child, which is quite uncomfortable that he's one of the most powerful characters and treated like a child as well.
I feel that's a thing though, I mean, not just then, but now where it's like once you get older and you can't do as much for yourself, unfortunately a lot of people who are older start getting memory issues. They do start getting treated like children because they don't understand things as well as they used to and they can't do things like they used to. And so do start getting treated a bit more childlike.
My impression of Mr Woodhouse, though, is that it's not an age thing. It's that people have always been this way with him. I understand if he's starting to have issues as he ages. I'm not saying we should discriminate against elderly people. Obviously, you should care for them. But it seems like he's always had people pander to him, which probably has a lot to do with his rank and situation.
His rank situation. I think we discussed before that we don't know whether he was potentially an only son and then pandered to even more than that, and either way, he gets treated very well with a lot of gentle touches and gold star stickers. He is fine with her seeing the Coles.
Yeah. So where does she get this snobbery from? It just seems to have cropped out of nowhere.
If it's not taught by her dad, I always want to say it's taught by someone, and the only other person who's taught her is Mrs. Weston.
It makes no sense.
Mrs. Weston is with Mr. Weston. They're going to see the Coles, and also she's a governor, so it means that she's also not at the same rank. Maybe she's been reading too many books that are telling her about etiquette and stuff.
How to be the mistress of a village.
For specifically Emma Woodhouse.
And that's our discussion of chapter 25 of Emma by Jane Austen. I have been Frances Duncan, and this has been Rachel Gower.
Bye.
Thank you for listening, and we wish you happy reading. Are you enjoying the little bits on the end?
I'm loving the little bits on the end. It's great.